Om Sadashivasamaramabham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. So when we start the Brahma Sutras, generally there is a ritual of chanting the Dasha Shanti mantras and 2-3 other mantras, and after that the Dakshinamurti Stotra. In the ashram setups, etc., when you do the Dakshinamurti Stotra, after every verse you prostrate. There's a small altar kept, so wherever you are sitting, you prostrate. In a setup like this, those things are not feasible. Even the chanting, we will work out how to do the chanting from next class onwards when we start the text proper. Today I don't think I will be going into the text per se. Okay? The sudden background, etc., becomes important. Some of you have heard it, some of you remember it, some of you may not remember it. Okay. So we'll start accordingly. So even the chanting, maybe we can do a slightly smaller version of it, because I don't want every class the chanting to be recorded. Maybe the first class I'll record it. After that, every class the chanting need not be recorded. Okay. So with that, a look at the pursuit of Vedanta itself. Okay. Generally, you are presenting 4 Purusharthas. Purushena, by a person, yad arthyate iti, what is desired by a person. And you categorize it as 4. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Artha and Kama is evident for everyone, irrespective of the society you live in. A sense of security, Artha, financial, etc., a home, etc., Artha. Kama, to make you feel happier in the setup. A house is fine. Can you mute yourself? No, mute all. I think I am going to mute everyone. If anyone wants to ask a question, you will have to unmute and ask. Okay. Therefore, Kama, to find some happiness with it. For security reasons, a home that you can lock is fine. Artha is taken care of. But you feel happy, you have to put some furniture, decorate it, all that thing, leave your imprint on it, make it your own. So there the same Artha becomes Kama also. So this is common for everyone. Universally people recognize Artha and Kama. If you are a little bit more thinking, you will realize the importance of Dharma. Minimum, the rule of law. If that is not there, where is security? Where is security if there is no rule of law? If Khalistanis can go roaming around the road, where is rule of law? Where is security? Where is your Artha and Kama? Okay? Or any other fanatic group. Where is Artha and Kama possible? But there are many pockets in the world where, because rule of law is not there, Artha and Kama is difficult. So people recognize that much at least, the Dharma as rule of law. Then you recognize a bit more. Hey, in personal interactions, professional interactions, there has to be something like trust, etc. Therefore, Dharma becomes a little bit larger in terms of ethics, etc. That also is recognized. Yeah. Then becomes still larger, not only for your family and your interactions, for the nation as a whole. Because if your nation doesn't exist, what is your Artha Kama going to exist? You will be a refugee somewhere else. To be an immigrant somewhere else is something, but to be a refugee somewhere else is the worst thing to happen to anyone. Therefore, we will recognize that national dharma is important. To survive as a nation becomes one of the most important things. I mean, just a few years back we had images of Afghani Muslims trying to escape the country because US was leaving and Taliban was taking over, throwing their babies over so somebody else carry him to safety. If a nation doesn't survive, where is dharma going to be there? Really? Therefore, your personal dharma, yes, dharma starts with the person, that is true. But the personal dharma cannot stand independent of your nation. Actually speaking, it should expand from the nation to the whole world. That's why we said Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the whole world is a family. Because how can you live in peace when there is so much of disharmony somewhere else? It will spill over to you. Spill over. But at least bare minimum to the national level it has to be there. The national level. If that is not there, your way of life, your culture, your heritage, your peace, your prosperity, everything has no meaning. If the soldiers are not at the border, Taliban will come to Kanyakumari. What are you talking about? Peace and harmony and everything. You won't be able to have a class like this. So, dharma. If you are a thinking person, this much you will recognize. It's easy to recognize this. Then if you are looking that the person survives death, and all religions talk about this, that the Atma surviving death. Then you have to take care of hereafter also. Sensible, no? Sensible that afterlife is okay. I'll do what is necessary to take care of that. Therefore, dharma now becomes extended to those religious practices. That's also included into dharma. Therefore, the scope of dharma is huge. Okay. It starts with the minimum, what? Follow the law. But in India, we have peculiar situations. People are religious, but they won't follow the law. This is man-made. I don't know. This is not true. If you are following dharma, it's not only religious dharma. It is the local law is also equally important. Otherwise, if you are going to pick and choose which law you follow, how will you survive? Agreed, a law may be bad in practice. So agitate to change the law. No? You have the right to do that. It's called the bill of the right to the right of rights. The right to the right of rights means you can agitate to change a law. It's legally allowed. As part of the legal setup, it's allowed. When I was thinking that, I thought of Surendran. I don't see him here. He has not joined up. I hope he is not waiting somewhere. No, there is no one in the waiting also. Okay. So, the whole thing goes, dharma, right from the local law onwards to hereafter. The whole range is what dharma is about. All right. This is also fine. We recognize the value of it. Then we see, why are we doing all this? Why do you want artha? Why do you want kama? Why do you want dharma? Why all this? I want to be a happy person and I want to live happily. I want to be a fulfilled person. So really speaking, it is this want of fulfillment which is not very often discerned. Therefore, dharma, artha, kama becomes important. Actually speaking, the purushartha is only moksha. Because moksha is missed out, fulfillment is missed out, you think I will get fulfillment by all this. Therefore, artha, kama at least becomes important. Nothing wrong in it as norm, but the fact remains that it is necessary because moksha is not recognized. After that, dharma, artha, kama is only for practical things. Yeah, once you become a fulfilled being, dharma, artha, kama becomes only something practical. I have to be able to sleep at night without someone disturb me, lock the door. Artha, need a place to sleep. No? Artha. Kama, little bit things, whatever makes your life comfortable. Or can. That's all it becomes. Yeah. That's why this one half of the prayer everybody will recognize, and agree to. Sai itna dijiye, jisse sukh safaye. I'll be comfortable. That's fine. But then we have to define what is comfortable. And Kabir defines it. Hum to bhukha na rahe, sadhu bhi bhukha na jaye. I will not be hungry. The man who comes to my door for a meal, he's also goes with a full meal. For him, that was minimum. For us, it may be a little bit more. For someone else, it may be much, much more. That's okay. Practical things. Yeah. It's like this joke, This man was a billionaire. No family. The only person in his life was a chauffeur who used to drive him around, take care of him, and get things, It's a man Friday for him. So when he died, he left everything to this driver. So the drivers, when he recognized that he has got so much money, he says, "Oh my God, I didn't realize he was working for me." So keep that in mind, okay? I mean, it's perfectly fine. If you want to be a billionaire, be a billionaire. Kya farak pada? Practical things, what do you need? Yeah. But all that becomes a purushartha because the parama purushartha is missed out. That's why we are constrained to say parama purushartha. Why? Because missing this, other things becomes purushartha. So how do you come to that? How do you come to moksha? Pariksha lokan. By examining the world that you live in, the world that you can possibly make out of it. That this fulfillment you are not going to gain by a life of karma. The fulfillment that you seek is not going to gain out of karma. Dharma, artha, kama is based on karma. Therefore, if dharma, artha, kama is based on karma, they are not going to give you the fulfillment that you seek. They can give you relative happiness, positional happiness. It's hot. Hey, I can keep the AC running 24 hours. I have the wealth for that. Fine. Positional happiness will give you comfort. But in that comfort, you can be unhappy. Oh my God, who's this girl my son is getting over to marry? That thought itself is enough to be unhappy right in all the comfort. Kiska saath ja raha hai yaar? One of my friends' relationship broke up. Why? The girl's father was a smuggler. Hardcore smuggler. What can you do? You can't tell the girl, don't keep in touch with the father. I mean, it's the father after all. Yeah. But then you can't entertain the father. He comes and keeps the suitcase at home and goes away, maybe full of stuff. How do you do? It's a very, very difficult situation to be in. Yeah. So, with all the comforts, you can be unfulfilled. Yeah. And with all the difficulties also you can be unfulfilled, okay? Yeah. We are not romanticizing anything by saying a poor simple life is happy life. Nonsense. Yeah, that's nonsense. To say poor simple life is a happy life is nonsensical. Yeah. Happy life is happy life. Whether it is poor or rich is a different thing. Yeah. So, coming back to the thing, when you examine the world, you become a viveki, recognizing that these things are not going to deliver the goods for me. Because all these are in the realm of the finite, don't work, not enough. Nasti akritaha kritena. Kritena karmanaha. By the actions that you do, you are not going to get everlasting happiness. Many religions, including Hinduism, tend to promise that permanent heaven nahi hota hai, is illogical. Religion is beyond logic. Yes, I accept that. So if the religion says there is a heaven, I accept. Or you need not accept. You have a choice. I accept. It is beyond logic. I have no logic to prove, no logic to disprove. It is beyond logic. Accept it. Everything else is now open to logic. You go there by your karma. You're going there by your karma is finite. How can it be eternal? It can't be eternal. It has to be finite. Yeah. And the Vedas says that. Yaha iha karma jitaha loka kshiyate. Like how here, anything that is achieved by karma gets over in time. Similarly, tatra amutra karma jitaha lokaha kshiyate. There also, you went to heaven or pitraloka or whatever, 7 heavens we are talking about, by the result of good karma. Okay. How much good karma you have done? Certain amount. 20 years. Go, have fun. 21st year. Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. Back to base. Back to base. Nothing, no belief system, etc. can overcome this logic. I mean, you can be a prince of believers and say, no, I believe in this. That's your choice, okay. That's your choice. But if you're going to live and die by that belief, I'll guarantee you disappointment when you go to heaven. I guarantee you that. Why? You'll find this. It's like going on a holiday. After that, what? You have to come back. Yeah. No, Swamiji, I'm going as an immigrant. How long? Yeah, I'll get residency. How long? Until your life, no? Until your life there, isn't it? Similarly, your life there. No, it is eternal. Bullshit. Bluff. Yeah. It's meant to keep you on the narrow road so that, okay, I'll be a good human being. So that, meant for the masses. It has its role to play. For the masses, it has its role to play. Okay? Don't dismiss that religion. It's good, necessary. Yeah. Because that it is eternal is open to logic. That it is there is not open to logic. Because that's beyond logic. How do you prove or disprove? You can't. Beyond logic, I accept. Yeah. So, when you look at it, hell, even there it is not. And there you will go and sit with God. Good. How many people have gone before you? You think you will gain the same standing as all the prophets and the religious leaders? I mean, come on. So So you'll be away. And people have gone before you. So it'll be like an election rally where you're in the last, the guy is in front. Or a music, whatever music program is going on, he's there and you are right at the back. I told you a story, remember? That Ramayana Pandit. He's speaking the Ramayana every day. So good human being, clean life. So after death he went to heaven. He's got a nice cottage, happy. Hey, all my karma has been rewarded. Every day I'm going to Indra's court and enjoying things here, fine. So there was a little bit difficulty for him to enjoy things in the beginning because he was lived to a true life of being frugal and this, and there it's all about enjoying it. So the transition took some trouble for him, but he managed. And by the side was a huge palatial setup. And there was a guy there. He used to go in a close carriage, so he never realized who the guy was coming and going. One day he saw the guy speaking to the carriage driver. Huh? How is this guy? I knew this guy down in Bombay. So he goes to Indra. How can this character be there? See, I have come here and I have got what I deserve. I am very happy with that, no complaints. But how can that guy be here? Why? I know the guy. He was a local don. क्या कर रहा है? Go check up with Chitragupta. Chitragupta is the record keeper. So go, he will tell you what it is. All computerized records are available with him. So he went to Chitragupta. No, it's all fair. How can it be fair? See, because of your Ramayana, some 20 people, you put the faith of God into them. I mean, a lot of people used to come, but this much. This character, when he used to walk on the road, hundreds of people are scared of him and thought of God. So he deserved better. He put the fear of God in many more hearts than you did. Therefore, he deserves that. Jokes apart, okay? ऐसा भी हो सकता है. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. All right. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you a dozen stories like this, okay, but enough. So the idea is that right there, the mind can be unhappy. That's why in Paradise Lost by Milton, the Satan's speech is very powerful. The mind in itself and its own place can make a heaven out of hell or a hell out of heaven. Very powerful speech. He puts it through the Satan's mouth, that is true. But the speech is, what he's saying is true. Yeah. This is your condition. No experience is permanent, therefore no experiential happiness will be permanent. Are you denying happiness? Of course not. Who can deny happiness? Hot day like this, cold coffee piyo, kaisa lagega? Yeah, you will feel happy. Some people may be longing for something like that also here. Because I saw an interview. I mean, I sometimes channel surf on this. And there's this new channel come up, Curly Tales. And this kid, Vidya Balan, was being interviewed. I said, I knew this kid, let me see what she's saying. Arey yaar, if you come to Chembur, na, you have to go to Gupta Bhels. That Bhelpur is something. Even Raj Kapoor used to come there to eat bhel. That's something. And if you are in Chembur, how can you miss Jama's Gulab Jamuns? No, it has to. So, the Curly Tail is recording on this. She's happy to know all this is happening. Then she says, oh yaar, ये सब याद दिलाया, अभी जाना पड़ेगा उधर. So I say, cold coffee, don't think of it. Okay? We look before and after and pine for what is not. Our sweetest songs with some pain is fraught. Shelley, Skylark. Because it is true. We miss the fulfillment that we are and we are looking for it all over. That's why future and past joys seems to be greater than the present joy. You anticipate something and when it comes, you think how simple it is. इतना ही बात है, correct है. Future and past challenges also seems bigger. That's a different thing. Now, with all this, when you recognize, hey, any experiential thing is limited, and my mind is looking for something much more than all that. Therefore, Viveka comes in, Vairagya comes in, Nirvedamayat. Vairagya comes in. Why? A sense of objectivity. This is all it can give you. Yeah. It can give you certain things and be happy with that. Don't expect, if you expect more than what it can give you, you are disappointed, unhappy. Just expect what it can give you certain things. Yeah. A home. I wanted a home. For want of a home, I was unhappy. I got a nice home, decorated, all that exactly like how I want, I made it. Now what? You'll be comfortable. I want to be totally fulfilled. Paisa. My friend, for 20 years she was longing for a home of her own. Finally she got it. And her friends would come over. Single girl living, friends would come over. Happy with things. But then the problem started. Hey, let's go out. Your house is so nice, why do you want to go out? But Papa, I've been in this house all day. I want to go out. Whole week I've been in there, at least weekend. No, we'll have in your house, we'll order food. Such a nice house. Abhi kya ho gaya? The same house becomes a problem. Because limited. Therefore, Nirveda Mayat, only this much it can give you. Not more than that. Can give you certain things. So, that's why Vairagya has to be seen as a great sense of objectivity. Phenomenal objectivity. This is making your life livable. All these things. What your aim is moksha. Yeah. This makes your life, you can comfortably seek moksha. Good. Everything is taken care of. Yeah. So, in that approach, now when you are seeking moksha, naturally the thing will become what? Any limited thing I am not happy with. Therefore, I have to go for the limitless. If I am going for the limitless, logically I recognize it cannot stand apart from me. If it cannot stand apart me, I should be part of it. But limitless cannot have parts. Therefore, logically I should be that. Hey, how can I be that? I can't be that, yaar. I am a limited entity. Horoscope hai mera is born at a time. Oh, then horoscope is more like a horoscope. Peter principle, what can go wrong, will go wrong, was he made it after looking at my life. Everything was going wrong only. So, this is my feeling and thinking. How can I be? But the logic is undeniable, yaar, must be. There must be something more. So, before you get into this logic, you will try various things. Try everything odd. Because the normal is not working for you. If the normal is not working for you, you have to try something which is not normal. Na? So, somebody will come in, you are unhappy, because your heart chakra is imbalanced. And other chakras also, thora alignment karne ka. Okay, so I'll do chakra alignment. Because the stars are like that. Okay, Navagraha Shanti, wo bhi kar lo. See, all these are useful for a purpose. Okay. But it will not give you moksha, that's what I am saying. But all these odd things will start coming up. Yeah. No. You have consciousness access bars. When you do this now, you'll be happy, fulfilled way. We have money workshop, money, lack of money. Dhana bhavena kil visham. There is a verse like that in Sanskrit also. Mahalakshmi Ashtaka. So how do you make your money with the money mantra course? You start teaching the money mantra course to others. Make your money. No, you need a different perspective of the world. Stand on your head. You get a different perspective immediately. What I am trying to say is, all these odd things you will try. This is part of Pariksha Lokan. Don't try everyone, try a few and recognize, hey, karmana na jayate. Nasti akritaha kriteya. The limitless cannot be gained by finite actions. Recognize that logic. Whether the actions are normal logic or abnormal ones. Actions. Yeah, abnormal actions. Get your energies in alignment. I do energy work. It's good for your health. It's good for martial arts. I saw a documentary on the Shaolin temple. So there one priest, one of the masters was, next time you come here, I may not be there. I may have become a god. I think he was not serious about it. The way he was saying it, looking at his body language, I didn't think he was serious about it. But then they asked a youngster who was listening to it, a young boy who was, do you think what your master has said is true? Nah. You think by doing punching and kicking you can become a god? And kid is sensible. He is sensible. So what are you expecting? Do punching and kicking, you'll be good punching and kicking. Good. You'll be fit, you'll be strong, all that will be fine. If you overdo it, you'll get arthritis by the time you're 70. Okay? Yeah, too much of wear and tear. Too much of wear and tear. You can't do that also. So, all that you do for his limited purpose. You can do anything and everything for limited purpose. Understand this. Nothing wrong in any activity. Nothing wrong in anything. Try any practices, any sadhana, anything. There will be something you will gain out of it. Limited. Keep it at that limited thing. The limitless cannot exist separate from you. Tasmat vijnanartham gurumeva abhigachet. Therefore, to know that, you go to a guru. Why? You need the Shabda Pramana, the word. If you have to know the limitless has to reveal itself. Therefore, the word becomes important. Shabda. Our Shabda Pramanam. Upanishadam Purusham. Therefore, you come to the Upanishad. Okay. I know Sanskrit, I know Tarka. Why can't I study it myself? Because through finite words, you are supposed to reveal the infinite. So what you're reading is finite words. How is the infinite going to be revealed through that? That requires a certain methodology. That methodology is with the teacher. That's why the teacher has to be a sampradaya with. That sampradaya with is indicated by two words, Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam. Brahmanishtam is rooted in that knowledge himself. Shrotriyam. He has got a parampara of learning. He has learnt it properly, so he has picked up the methodology of teaching it. Otherwise, he will become a mystic. A mystic can inspire, he cannot teach. A mystic cannot make another person a mystic. Because if you are communicating exactly what you know to the other person, then you are a teacher, not a mystic anymore. What is mystical about it? Hey, what is mystical? I am teaching. Yeah. At the most, he can give you a few practices in the hope that you will experience what he has experienced. But what he has experienced, he has interpreted it. What you will experience, you will interpret it in terms of your background. Isn't it? That's why it's called experience. No two people experience the same thing in the same manner. Even if similar backgrounds, variations will always be there. Yeah. Variations will always be there. In your life itself, 10 years down the line, you will not be interpreting the same experience in the same manner. Because subject to interpretations. Experiences are subject to interpretations. Then if you come to the text, cold printed words, it doesn't deliver the goods. Yeah. So the methodology of teaching becomes equally important. That's the art of communicating the truth. And believe me, it's one of the most difficult things to communicate. Other things are easy. I take elaborate communication workshops. Corporates come and ask me, Ramji, what a nice communicating workshop, because you all communicate difficult things. I said, sure. How many sessions? I said, 2 days. 2 days for a communication? Yeah. Because I had to go to normal communications. Then I had to refine that. Then I had to put in body language. Then I had to talk about communication with empathy. Then communication with assertiveness. Then even the way you listen, all these things, the way you talk, so many things come in. From small talk to directly talk to so much of there is involved in all this. So 2 days is minimum. But those are easy. Yeah. Understanding emotions beyond the words, easy. We were talking about what is beyond the words anyway all the time. So you think emotions are difficult to understand. Yeah. So this communication is a teaching. Yeah. So both the teacher and the student will need to have a certain preparedness. Both are. Otherwise the communication will not work. Teacher, Kshotriya, Brahmanishtam. Brahmanishtam, they can be level, but basic thing has to be there. Kshotriya, the methodology of teaching, your master. And the student, all the sadhana chatushtayam. Viveka Vairagya is minimum. No? Viveka, I mean, come on, you have to have a certain Viveka, you understood your life pursuits, etc. very clearly. And you have a certain objectivity in life. So you don't bring your subjectivity into the learning. Why is Upanishad saying Purusha, Purusha, Purusha all the time? It's very patriarchal. Your wokeism is brought into that. Your background. Hey, relax. Purau ushati iti Purusha. What is obtaining in this body is called Purusha. Why this body is called Purau, city? It has got nothing to do with male, female. Yeah. Yeah. But you will interpret according to this. Na? Therefore, objectivity is necessary to examine an issue, to examine a thing. Vairagya necessary. Shat Sampatti, Samadama, etc. Hey, your mind, your emotions are running haywire. Then what will happen? How much will you understand? This requires a lot of objectivity. Emotions are going haywire. Samaha, master. You have to have that maturity to have manage your mind. Dhamma, the physical discipline. The physical discipline necessary. Yeah. That's why I respect all the people from UK who are attending 5:30 in the morning there. Yeah, yeah. A discipline of being there 5:30 in the morning to attend a class. Yeah, it's good. Dhamma, Uparati, Karma Yoga Buddhi, etc. Lifestyle of Karma Yoga. Titiksha, ability to put up with pinpricks of life. Class is hot here. Room is hot, correct. 1 hour only, na? It's okay. Titiksha. Shraddha, Astikya Buddhi, the confidence that if I look into the Shastra, I will know the truth. The confidence. I don't know the truth. Yeah. I accept that generations after generation, every generation, people have looked into the Shastra and known the truth. I am also confident if I look into it with the help of a teacher, I will know. So that also involves, the Shraddha involves one thing very, very peculiar that many people miss out. It requires a degree of self-esteem, isn't it? If he can get it, I can also get it, yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, you put the teacher on a pedestal. Great man. ठीक है, great man. अभी क्या? That's why it's good for the teachers to become a bit normal. If he can get it, I can get it. Yeah. That Shraddha involves that confidence in yourself also. Samadhanam, acceptance of people and all. I know one person who refused to come to my class. Why? Because that person is coming. I said, you don't have to interact with the person at all. You sit in one corner, the person will go and sit in another corner. Kya farak pada? No, I can't. You don't. You have to take a special class for me. No. The class is in Jammu. You want to come? Come. At an online. At an online. That's also okay. Come on, at an online. I can't stand the sight of the world. Sit at home, suffer. और क्या करेगा? Samadhana, acceptance of people, etc. That forbearance is not there. Yeah. I'm not joking. These are all true. I'm not mentioning names. That's all true examples. Okay. Yeah. Therefore, all this mumukshutvam, of course, a drive, strong drive for moksha. If that is not there, what are you going to do? Therefore, such a person becomes a student, and the teacher, of course, was like this before. He may not have started like that. He became like that in time. No student starts with all the qualifications available. Okay? Outside the pages of the Upanishads, you don't find students like that. None of us were like that. Okay? All the qualifications. We had some. We had to work on something else. That's okay. That's life. Yeah. Like brought up in a modern society, Shraddha, etc. is like a red flag, isn't it? Shraddha? Hey, what is that? Can you believe blindly? We are not talking about blind belief. Yeah. In fact, I'm not even using the word belief. Yeah. It is that confidence that you have. Correct. If others can get it, I can get it. And this character can help me reach there. That's it. That recognition. Yeah. Because modern education is the other way around. You have to be skeptical. Understand the backgrounds we came from. Modern education, skepticism is important. And it is fine to be skeptical. Why? Because anything, the knowledge keeps developing by correcting the previous one. What is science? If nothing but a correction of a series of mistakes made. From the statement, the atom was a single indivisible unit of matter to now. How long away we have come. Yeah. So their skepticism is good to challenge and question everything. Here some trust and confidence to understand exactly. You can always question. Pariprashnena sevaya, Gita Krishna has said. Your seva should be in the form of questions asked. Yeah, because you are not solving it, you are understanding it. So the questioning is to understand. You need the questioning to understand the whole thing. So with all this, you come to learn. Now, the Upanishads were, what is the age of the Upanishad? God alone knows. God alone knows. If you go by what the Vedas says, it was revealed at the beginning of creation itself. So when creation started, this knowledge was there. Naturally, knowledge of the creation will involve this knowledge. So from there it was there. The rishis got the first people who got it. That's why we have the photograph of Dakshinamurti, the Lord in the form of a teacher. Yeah. Teaching, all that. So the teaching tradition it went on. Each seeker went to whoever he could find and study. So the Upanishads are all various dialogues between various teachers and students. In some cases names mentioned, in some cases names not mentioned. You don't know, it don't bother. Yeah. It didn't bother, so okay. Unknown guru, unknown student. Yeah. In some cases we know. By the way, there were 500 rishikas, female rishis, okay, mentioned in the Vedas. 500, not one or two. That means it's not exception. They are not exception. They were the norm. 500 rishikas of this knowledge. Sometimes as students they are mentioned, sometimes they are mentioned as teachers. So, all this in various paramparas it went on, various guru sishyas it went on. From the timeless onwards. Until it started, certain revelations were in certain meters. There is semi-poetical form, not exactly a poetical form, but a semi-poetical form. By the way, anyone remembers which is the first poem in India? First kavya.
Ramayana.
The Ramayana is the first kavya. First poem was Ramayana. Veda is much older, okay? The story of Rama written by Valmiki was the first poem. So this is a semi-poetical form. They are chanted. That's why you are not supposed to sing the Veda, okay? And if you are getting into the Veda, you are supposed to chant the Veda, not sing it. So chant it. Because there is a particular meter and thing. So this, where is rishis from? Start grouping it together. Okay. Because which is before, which is later. You can have something because if one is quoting something else, then okay, that it could be simultaneous also. And then one quoting the other because they knew about the other person. Or it could have been earlier. So they all grouped it together and they accepted Rik, Yajus, Samaha, 3 Vedas dealing with all this, the knowledge and the ritualistic section, both are there. Many of the rishis kept the Atharva Veda out. Because see, the Veda is meant to tell you what you can't figure out yourself. Atom exists or not, you can figure out. There is an atomic theory in India, something like 3,000-4,000 BC. We studied that. Nayayikas, Nyaya, Tarkasangra. Yeah, that is the first atomic theory. 3,000-4,000 BC, okay. First theoretical physicists were the Vaisheshikas. Right, wrong is not the question. The question is that concept was available. So, this is older. So that will not get included in the Veda. It may be mentioned as an example or something. But that is not the pramana. It is called anuvada. You are restating it. Pramana is meant for what you can't figure out. But the Atharva Veda had things. Some of the karmas were ghora karmas. Ghora karmas sounds cruel. Like Mahatharvan Javadi, one of the greatest rishis of Atharva Veda. They said, with a word he could kill a person or bring the dead back to life. One word is enough for him. My God, this is not spiritual here. How do you say one word, the person drops dead? Then he talked about martial arts, strategy. Hey, no. That's not. So the Atharva Veda was kept out. And there was a little bit of a conflict between people saying the Veda was fourfold to people saying Veda is only threefold. Then along comes one champion, I'm sure he must have been quite a bit of a rebel. Why? Father was a rishi, mother was a fisher girl, illegitimate child. His father, Parashara, believed that the Veda was fourfold, but he didn't know enough of the Atharva Veda. So this guy goes and finds a teacher, Maha Atharvan Javali himself. Okay, Maha Atharvan Javali lived for a long time and studies from him the Atharva Veda. Marries his daughter, Vatika, and reconciles the whole thing. So they had the first Kumbh Mela, lasted 12 years. 12 years, yeah. It was sponsored by King Shantanu of Hastinapura. Okay. This is before the Mahabharata battle happened. That is why that place where it happened is called Dharma Kshetra because of that. Yeah. Where the battle happened later, that whole place is called Dharma Kshetra. 12 years discussion, debate, overseen by Vyasa, by Krishna Dvipayana. That is his name. Where they put everything together, codified the whole thing, then analyze the whole thing. The first section of the Veda, which deals with Dharmartha Kama, was analyzed by Krishna Dvipayana's student, Jaimini. The whole analysis, elaborate analysis. Why? The first portion is very elaborate. Why? Because your desires are elaborate. What all desires you have? So you need a lot of rituals for that. A lot of material is available. Therefore, it's not that everyone has to do all the rituals to get to your desires. There's a Putra Kameshti to get a child. I'm sure none of our parents did Putra Kameshti for us to be born. Yeah. So, you don't have to. That's supposed to enhance your action. A religious action, a prayer, etc., or rituals, etc., is supposed to enhance worldly action, not replace it. It's very important. Why? Because this person, a father-in-law was my student. So I used to have a class in their house. So they were not getting a child. They said, go for infertility treatment. This is the first line. No? She got fed up of all that. So she went to Christian Science. It's a nice system. They said, keep praying. You will happen. It will happen. With unconditional belief, you have to pray. And she was a very emotional person, so easy to have that unconditional faith. For thinkers like us, it's difficult. For someone who is more emotional, it's easier to have that faith. So she comes and asks me, Swamiji, they said so much about all these things. That means even if I don't relate to my husband, I should get pregnant. Na? मैं क्या बोलूं? I'm looking out of the window. What are you looking for? The star of Bethlehem. The last time it happened, the star was seen. I don't see that star, so you better relate to your husband. Meaning, it is supposed to enhance your karma, not replace it. All true stories. Okay, I'm not joking. Someone actually asked me this in the 20th century. Anyway, so going ahead with it. So all those elaborate things analyzed by Jaimini. The last Upanishadic section analyzed by Vyasa, by Krishna Dvipayana himself. Then, at the end of the Shrauta period, 12 years, the whole assembly of sages declared Krishna Dvipayana as Veda Vyasa, the one who has analyzed the Veda. That's how he got the term, Veda Vyasa. There's a big story about it. I think in some Guru Purnima program I have told it long back. The whole story about how the whole thing happens and everything. Yeah. So this analysis, the system is same. First section analysis, second section analysis. First section is called Jaimini Sutras. Next section is called Brahma Sutras, because the subject matter is Brahman. Therefore, Brahma Sutras. Not Vyasas. They are also called Vaiyasikya Sutras, the secondary name. That which has come from Vyasa is Vaiyasikya. It is also called Sharirika Sutras. Why? It deals with the indwelling self, the Atman. That which is obtaining in this body. Tasya bhavam, Sharirikam. It was also called Sharirika Sutras. Elaborate. Meaning, the whole Upanishad is analyzed into 555 words, sentences, short sentences. Athato Brahma Jignasa, Shastra Yonitva, Tattva Samanvayat, short. So if you remember 555 lines, the whole Shastra is with you. और क्या चाहिए? That means, if there is one teacher who knows the whole Sharirika Sutras, he can sit down under a tree, you can destroy everything, he can rebuild the whole thing. That's why Sanatana Dharma survived like that. How many times an invasion and destruction, 30 years, whole of Egypt became Islam. 18 years, Iraq became Islamic. How many years was the assault in India? And only 20% are converted. It survives. Because one teacher is enough. One teacher surviving somewhere is enough to build back the whole thing. The whole system was geared like that. So natural calamities happen, invasions happen, destructions happen. This will survive. Vedanta Jnana will survive. Others may go off. Like a lot of Nyaya Shastra, etc. has gone off. Sankhya Sutras have gone. So the Sutra literature became popular because everything could be codified and simplified. Like formula. You like making a formula. The whole analysis has become one formula now. So that's how it became. So therefore you have Patanjali Sutras, Panini Sutras. Patanjali Sutras for yoga. Panini Sutras for grammar. Believe me, they are more elaborate. You're thinking 555 is a big number, no? Brahma Sutras. You know how many sutras are there in Panini? 4,000 and odd. It is 4 times the Brahma Sutra. So, codified into literature like this, analysis like this. And so the teachers were teaching Brahma Sutras. Because now you had an easy reference point. And out of this also, the first 4 sutras cover the whole Shastra. So we teach the first 4 sutras. Others, then full-time teachers are encouraged to learn it on their own because you have the key now, how to unlock the sutra, and you can learn. But the sutra is very cryptic. So the teachers knew their teaching tradition. And thousands of years later, another champion came along. He was definitely a rebel. Why? Because he was from Mallu land. He walked out of home at the age of 8. Babaji banna hai bolke. Okay. Shankara. So when he looked at the whole thing, he said, "Arey yaar, these people will forget the tradition in time." So he made a commentary on the Sutra Bhasha, on the sutras. So that became, in fact, when you say Bhashya, it becomes Shankara Bhashya only. That's how it is. Commentary on this. Okay, fine. So now you have Shankara Bhashya and the sutras. Acha hai. The key is there. But then other scholars looked at it. His own student Padmapada had a look at it. Oh, what beautiful. And he elaborated it in a commentary on the commentary. It's called a Tika. Okay. And the first 5 chapters, now each, okay, the Brahma Sutra structure, it is divided into 4 chapters. First chapter is Shravana, the Adhyaya. It reveals the truth. And second chapter is called Avirodha Adhyaya. Any questions and challenges to the system is dealt with in Avirodha Adhyaya. Believe me, I can use those sutras to answer science itself. Even though science, as we know today, didn't exist when the sutras were made. But some form of discipline was there. So, Avirodha Adhyaya. Third section is the Sadhana Pada. It analyzes the various disciplines that you do to get your mind ready, all that thing. And the phalam of all that is there. The last section is phalam, the result of all this, what it deals. So, this is how it is divided. Each section has 4 subsections, 4 padas. So, altogether 16. So, Padmapada wrote and read out the first 5 chapters, 5 padas to Shankara. Shankara says, beautiful, continue. He continued. But something happened in between and someone inimical to him burned down his whole house, his whole place where he was staying. So the whole thing was lost in that. And he was given some poison, etc., because of which his intellectual facilities diminished. He couldn't remember all the scholarship. So he went to Shankara and said, I don't know what to do. He says, first 5 chapters you told me, na, I remember that. Here, sir, I'll dictate it to you. And he dictated the whole. So now that is only Panchapadika is available. It's called Panchapadika. Another student of his looked at it. Arey yaar, this is beautiful. He wrote a tika called Nyaya Nirnaya. This is all in his lifetime. Some Amalananda. Then Bhamati Kara came. Okay, Vachaspati Mishra. He wrote the Bhamati. Another huge work. I told you all the story of how Bhamati, the word came. Named after his wife. So, another scholar came. He said, Bhamati. It explains everything that Shankara has said. He wrote a commentary called Kalpataru, the wish fulfilling tree. By any doubts you have, you look into it, you will get answers. Another scholar came after that. Parimala, the fragrance of the wish fulfilling tree. So nuances are added on. One sutra, one bhashya, and all this. So here Panchapadika, Nyaya Nirnaya, Radna Prabha, Vivarna Prameya Sangraha. All commentaries, yeah. So there is a Vivarna on following Anandagiri. Then there is Vivarna Prameya Sangraha. What is said in the Vivarna? That Sangraha, the collection of that. Ratna Prabha. Ratna Prabha also follows Anandagiri closely. Then on Ratna Prabha, on the first 4 sutras, there is a further commentary called Purnanandiya. Kitna padne ka bolo? How much do you want to study?
Now currently anybody is writing?
Huh?
Now currently any scholars are writing?
Currently people are written. They are not considered very important. Many people write. Then it became so this thing that anyone who agrees with Shankara's view of this had to quote him. Anyone who disagrees also had to quote him. His place became so important. That's why other acharyas, when they wrote from other traditions, other than Advaita tradition, they all have followed the same system. Quoting this and trying to refute or agreeing with it. So like that, there are almost 100 works available in the Brahma Sutras. Okay, I have not read all of them. Bhamati I have read. Nyaya Nirnaya I have gone. Okay, both the traditions. There are some variations in it, minor. So why I am saying all this? Because I want you all to understand the depth of the tradition that is there and what you are getting into. This is something huge, not simple. We are going to study only 4 of them with Shankara's commentary. Wherever other arguments are valid, like from Nyaya Nirnaya or Bhamati, I will bring it in. We will not study that in Sanskrit. but I will bring in some of those arguments. Okay. So this is the introduction. Next class we will go into it. Okay. Om Tat Sat.